Hey guys, welcome back. So today is a tutorial that was actually special requested by one of our lovely Cake Face family members, and it was a request to do a tutorial using the red and the rose gold in the Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction palette. And so that is exactly what I've done. I decided to do sort of like a halo eye inspired look that isn't quite as structured or high contrast as a traditional halo eye. So we've got the bright red, and I wanted you to see it in all its glory, sort of bold and in its element and without too much else going on. And I've got this rose gold sort of swipe down the center to create this lovely sheen, and we used a little bit on the face as well. So I hope that you enjoy. If you are new, definitely don't forget to subscribe before you leave. That would be awesome. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your constant support. You guys blew me away in the last few videos. Your comments were so sweet. So you have definitely spurred me on and make me feel like I just am excited to keep making videos for you guys. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get this tutorial started. I've already primed my eyelids using my Makeup Forever eye and lip primer. Now for the Pat McGrath palette, I'm going to go ahead and dip right into the red stunner. I'm using an e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, which is a dense dome semi-flat brush. Grabbing quite a bit of product and just packing this right on to the lid. I'm placing this all over the lid, really sculpting that crease. The pigmentation is unreal, you guys. Scrape it right across the crease, shaping the eye look. Now with a clean fluffy brush, this is my Morphe M518, and it's a large fluffy brush. I'm just going to run this along the edges to get rid of any wibbly wobbly lines like I have over here. Just blending. Not so much to like diffuse the line per se, as it is just to smooth and make it look more perfected. Now with my Wet n Wild pencil brush, I'm going into rose gold. I'm going to pat this right onto the inner corner. And actually lift the color up and blend it into the red. Just to diffuse it, I'm using my finger and just rubbing right on top. Now with my fluffy brush, I'm going to dive right into this brown shade over here. I'm going to just slightly deepen this outer edge, just to give a slight hint of dimension. Okay, so I pulled out my Marc Jacobs Fine Wine Gel Liner. And I'm just going to use this right in the waterline. I'm going to let it overflow onto the lower lash line. bringing that a little bit lower. And then of course I'm going to tightline on the upper lashes, making sure to really work this into the outer corner. Again, with the e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, I'm dipping back into the bright red shadow, and we're gonna just pat this right onto the lower lash line area. Come on, look at the dimension of this eyeshadow. So beautiful. I'm going to clean off the fluffier brush just on a tissue. Just make sure there isn't too much excess of that dark brown. And I'm going to diffuse that outer edge again. At this point, I'm going to really take a look at the eyes, make sure I have gotten them as symmetrical as I can get them. It's never going to be perfectly symmetrical, but you want to kind of inspect it and see if it's on the right track. Once again, cleaning off my fluffy brush a little bit and going back into the rose gold, I'm going to bring this onto the brow bone. Lightly dusting, putting very little pressure because we don't want full-on opacity, and just slowly building this up. It has like silver specks of glitter laced throughout, and it almost disappears when you're not facing the light. I'm gonna now focus it right down the center of the eye, so all the way from the brow bone, using a very light feather touch and bringing that through the red all the way to the lashes, like a stripe down the center. Now with my ASEM W21 flat brush, I am going to pat on a little bit of the deep aubergine. I think it's called extreme aubergine actually. And I'm going to just take this right on the outer edge and use a patting motion to place the pigment and layer it over that red to offer some contrast with that sort of stripe we laid down in the center. For mascara, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes. My little sample over here. I'm choosing this mascara because I want a light, whispery, wispy, clump-free lashes for this look, to really keep the focus on the colors on the eyes as opposed to having lashes that overwhelm or distract from the red. If I had red mascara, that would be cool. I keep calling this shade red, but really it's duochrome. It's got a beautiful orange shift, and in some light it looks berry toned. I went ahead and used some of my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the brows and tried to clean up some of the fallout underneath the eyes. Now I'm going to go on to complexion. I'm kind of dying to get to the lipstick. I don't know why. It's not like anything new, but I think it'll just complete the look, you know? So I'm gonna try this MAC Studio Water Weight Concealer, and I'm going for something really, really lightweight. I do want to cancel out redness, because whenever you do red eyeshadow or green eyeshadow, anything that will bring out the red in the rest of your face, I think it's kind of nice to kind of have a clean slate. However, I don't want anything heavy because I feel like this would look really nice with a light base. So this is very sheer, so I am gonna see if this will be enough. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do a drop over here, a drop over here. This is an NC20, in case you're curious. And with my favorite, the Sephora Pro Airbrush Concealer Brush number 57, I'm gonna use this around the eyes. Just very carefully approaching the eye area. I'm taking a bit more concealer and spot concealing. I'm using a little patting motion to keep the concealer in the same spot and build up coverage. Before I go crazy trying to catch up with this concealer that just is like transferring and going places, I am gonna set my makeup with some powder before I lose my mind. So this is the, as always, Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Fusion Airbrush Powder. I'm skipping foundation because I feel like with the spot concealing, it looks even enough. Okay, and then because for some reason I'm like dying to see if this lip works, I'm going to jump to that. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Honey Matte Lipstick. I wanted a warm nude that wouldn't be too pinky red, and that is matte. So that is why I chose this guy. I love it. Okay. Okay, I think that lip just made me love this look that much more. For a special touch, I'm going to use a flat synthetic brush from Morphe and dip into the rose gold. I'm going to put this right in the center of the lower lash line and drag it down. I'm dragging it down onto the cheek. And like I said, this shade kind of disappears until it hits the light, which I thought was cool. So this touch is why I wanted to use concealer under the eyes really well, so that it just blanks it out and creates a nice base. With my powder brush, I'm just going to blend it a little bit. Let it fade away. I think a little blush would be nice, so I'm going to take the red shade like I did in my, I think it was my first tutorial with this palette, and just dip a big fluffy brush into that. I'm going to very lightly pat this onto the cheeks with just a dash of my Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting palette, the contour shade. I am going to just chisel the cheekbones a little bit without adding warmth. This is a nice cool tone. And with my Up and Up complexion brush, I am just stamping this right into the hollows of the cheekbones. This is a cream product, so if you've already put on a lot of powder, it could layer poorly. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you have any other special requests for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll do everything I can for you guys. And yes, I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.